So Mahmoud Abbas has made the news again. I want to remind you, this is the man who still pays to slay. So any terrorist that kills any Jewish citizen, whether man, woman, child, or old person, their family gets payment from him and his organization. He is the epitome of a terrorist, and he supports and pushes for more terror against the Jews. Now, this man, right, wants to be relevant. He's very irrelevant, but he wants to be relevant in what's coming. So Abbas calls for Hamas disarmament, international forces, in a letter to Macron. Up until the time when he could see Hamas is mostly destroyed, decimated, and wiped out down to what they are now, he was very quiet because he was afraid of their retaliation. Now that he thinks they're mostly gone and broken and unable to touch him, now suddenly he wants to be the spokesperson. In a letter to President Emmanuel Macron a week ahead of a Saudi-French conference on the two-state solution, Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas said Hamas must hand over its weapons and international forces could be deployed in the Palestinian territories. Now he means Gaza, Judea, and Samaria, and parts of Jerusalem. Just remember that. Palestinian president said that forces, Palestinian people, blah, 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 rubbish, rubbish, rubbish. In a letter addressed on Monday to Macron and Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, because MBS has to be involved, who this month will co-chair the conference on the two-state solution for Israel and the Palestinians. Abbas outlined the main steps that he thinks, as if everyone cares what he thinks, must be taken to end the war in Gaza and achieve peace in the Middle East. He's not MBS. No one cares what Abbas thinks. They care what MBS thinks and what he pushes. Hamas will no longer rule Gaza and must hand over its weapons and military capabilities to the Palestinian security forces. So he'd like these terrorists to give their weapons to these terrorists. Okay, that's his first point. He said he was ready to invite Arab and international forces to be deployed as part of stabilization protection mission with the UN Security Council mandate. This would be the same UN that ran UNRWA and supports terrorism, right? That one. The one who hates Israel. More resolutions against Israel than any other country in the world, including China, Russia, Iran, and all those places that should have resolutions against them for various things but don't. The conference at UN headquarters will aim to resurrect the idea of a two-state solution. Israel currently controls large parts of the Palestinian territories. No, they do not. They control Israel, and Israel should control Israel. We are ready to conclude with a clear and binding timeline. Note the wording here, binding. Maybe bind it for 7 years. And with international support, all nations will be part of this because God will come into judgment against all nations. With international support, supervision, and guarantees, a peace agreement that ends the Israeli occupation. They're occupying their own land. They're not occupiers. And resolves all outstanding and final status issues, i.e. Temple Mount, and all those things regarding Jerusalem. Hamas has to immediately release all hostages and captives, he said. Threw that in the bottom there just to try and appease the Jews and keep the liberal Jews happy at least, and say maybe he is trying to help and do something towards the peace process. Again, an irrelevant little terrorist who wants to be relevant in things that are big, that are coming, that he sees coming, that he sees people like MBS very busy with, and Macron busy with, and the rest of the world rallying behind, and now suddenly he wants to hop on that stage. Maybe make a quick buck so that he can keep paying the terrorists who are killing Jews while no one's looking. Interesting, interesting. Born for a time such as this, and we are here to see these things. We are here to pray for Israel and pray for more people in Israel, both Jew and Arab, all of them, to have an encounter with Jesus Christ and come to their knees and bow down before his throne and receive him as their Lord and Savior. God bless. Keep looking up. Time is running out fast. Shalom.